Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be a good one between the New York Giants and the Washington Redskins. With that, let's get on up to FedEx Field near Washington. Standing by for the call of this one, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, it's a pretty frigid December day in our nation's capital. We got our space heaters on full blast up in the booth at FedEx Field. Nothing like the guys get set to match up between the New York Giants and the Washington Redskins. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, we look at this Redskin team as they interplay here. And they've lost 3 straight here, and it goes without saying, I guess, they could certainly use a win.
And how do they get a win? Because they've lost 3 straight, I think it's paramount that they get a fast, clean start to this game.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Giants, they've been as hot as anyone. The win last week makes it 9 out of 10.
The results are hard to argue. If there's a team better suited for the postseason right now, I don't know who they are.
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
And what I enjoyed watching this week when we had a chance to watch them at practice, the easy camaraderie that he has with his offense.
A lot of respect.
A lot of respect, and frankly, I thought it spilled over to the defense. I thought the defensive guys were coming over and teasing and joking with him. You can tell they respect the heck out of him and really want to play well for him.
Ready up. And X3, 218, chopper.
They'll run on first down. Leslie, it'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
No chance. No chance.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. 2nd and 13. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9.
65. 65. Ready.
Operating from the gun. Bowden. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. So on 4th down, the Redskins will call on Tressway to punt it away. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And taken right on the 30. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, Give him 15. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And an alley to run. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. First down, Giants on a pickup of 14. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say, 200 plus?
He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down. In the quarterback, he's got some big threats at wideout.
And they seem to get bigger all the time, don't they, Brandon? Every time I look out and watch a game, we're getting these bigger, more athletic, acrobatic receivers. We have some today.
Down. 70, Indy.
Let's put him on the buses. Let's put that team on.
Greystone, travel. Snap.
On 2nd down now, Barkley. And he gets it down to the 32. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 15 carries, 113 yards.
And a rushing title's definitely within sight, so the excitement on the offensive side of the football, I mean, they're bouncing off the walls wanting to get out there, but they also understand that they're going to face some really stacked defenses down the stretch because they don't want it to happen at their expense.
The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. They've been pretty good against the pass. Not amazing, but good. Number 13 in the league.
So I'm prepping for this game. I kept asking myself the question, what's keeping this group from being top 10 in the league against the pass?
And?
Too many mistakes, especially little mistakes. And those add up into big mistakes. Big mistakes add up into points against you.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. Throwing on 1st down. Forbes. Catch made by Slayton.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Defense.
A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
60 Pittsburgh.
Don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning to tear you up.
Now a give, right side. Childress. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups. Check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. To throw again. Bowden steps away. He'll try and run it. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, Bowden. And he completes it to Westbrook. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. They'll try the left side. Leslie. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line.
Face mask. Defense.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Automatic first down.
Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away. But it does get away and it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now a give right side. Leslie. And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. On 3rd down, Leslie. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line. Well short of the first. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves him with a 4th down now. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. That'd be ideal.
The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a 1st down. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. On the run, it's Barkley. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Hey, Sam off!
On 1st down, Barkley. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. It's a gain of 11 and a Giant 1st down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. And this defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Buying time to his left. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at second down. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After 7-0 on EA Sports.
Let's go. 90 Wolf. Five.
On third down, Barkley. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest Holmes for the third most in a single year. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. So they went to the ground game on third, hoping to pick up the first. They also picked up a touchdown.
Offensive linemen so used in this situation to having a pass block. All right, you're looking at what it is, third down. They don't care that it's third and whatever. They figure they're going to throw the ball. And when you call running play, I think you energize them. I think you juice them up because I haven't met offensive linemen yet that likes to pass block more than they like to run block. And they opened up some nice holes there for him, and he took it to the house.
This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Out comes the Washington offense as we get a look at the playoff race in the NFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. Touchdown, Washington! D.D. Westbrook, his 5th touchdown now on the year. As they are now on the board here in the first half. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get them in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over. This game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. Usually meant that thing's done.
Well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And right now, a lot to like on that screen. They've wrapped up the division, now currently sitting in the coveted number 2 spot. Of course, you want one. You'd love number 1, but if you can't have one, number 2 is pretty good.
I agree with you totally, and here's the other part, too. The really good teams, the really confident teams, they're not as worried about being number 1. 2 is fine because they feel like they can go on the road and win against number 1 if they absolutely have to. The big thing, though, is clinching one of those early buys and able to sit and get a little rest as the playoffs begin.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Looking to throw. Forbes. And that is incomplete. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
Back to the air on 2nd down. Forbes. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
That was an okay hookup there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
To throw on 3rd down. Forbes got his man complete over the middle. That's Benson. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 17 yards and a giant 1st down. Back to throw. Forbes. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. I'll call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick. But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal because an extra point's supposed to be automatic.
Absolutely, and I would think even field goals inside of 30 yards, even though they're substantially shorter than a PAT, it just has a different feel, doesn't it?
A different feel, a different vibe. That's what I get from all the kickers I talk to. They always say if I miss an extra point, that's the one that bothers me more.
Here we go, set, 10-2 stop. Get it.
On 1st and 10, Bowden, and an alley to run. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a 1st down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Looking to throw, Bowden. And a great return here gets this one all the way down to the 26-yard line. Now we've got a giant player here slow to get up after that last play. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break.
Come on, set. Achy Gator.
Watch the pass.
Go. Ready?
On 1st down, Forbes. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Benson. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
It takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are.
And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Khalil Mack in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So they escape, so to speak. Maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get him back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
So far, he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that second touchdown now. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 12 yards is the pickup, and it's good for a Washington first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll bring up a second down. Back to throw. Bowden. And he's got his man on the out route. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. Give the Redskins 13 there and a first down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give him some space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. 2nd and 11. Taken down here. Great coverage downfield. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. 3rd and 15 here after the 1st and 2nd down plays went in the wrong direction. Looking to throw. Bowden. And the pressure gets to him again. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
Hey, Echo. Ready?
Operating from the gun. Forbes. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. It's a gain of 11 and a Giant first down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half.
Set, ready? 60 Pittsburgh.
Walk 54, walk 54. It's coming this way, here we go.
Hey, Charlie.
March 54.
Throwing on first down. Forbes. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
I like what they tried to do there. They didn't get a completed pass downfield, but they came off of a momentum play. Big-time gain on the previous snap. Came right back and threw one deep, hoping to catch them on their heels.
54. And here we go.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Forbes. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
Hey, foxtrot, foxtrot.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Let's go.
From the gun, Forbes. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. He's at the 40. Past the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Washington. You think you're going into halftime with a good-sized lead? Not so fast. That pick six really changes the complexion, probably also changes the halftime speech.
No doubt about it. Instead of going in relaxed, you're probably a little more uptight right now, probably a little bit angry. Let's see if they can get their focus back.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will shrink to 6. This fielded at the 2. A marker down. He does get it up past the 25. Will it hold? Let's see.
Face mask. Defense.
So that one will be accepted.
Let's go, baby.
Automatic first down.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. The final shot before break. Forbes. And he is going to go down here, but we also have a penalty marker at the line of scrimmage. They may have jumped the gun. And the first half, just like the end of the game, can't end with a defensive penalty. They'll have another play.
One more play, untimed. See what happens here.
So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll start over in Texas at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. And that one closing in on halftime with the Cowboys out on top. Dak Prescott has thrown a touchdown pass. From there, let's head to New Jersey. The Jets at home at MetLife Stadium. And you can see they trail in that matchup against the Pittsburgh Steelers. 2 touchdown passes there for Marcus Mariota. Finally, let's get down to Miami to see what's going on with the Dolphins. And that game all tied up as they do battle with the visiting Lions. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team has been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? To find out, we give it back to our commentators, Brandon Gotten and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Second half ready to get rolling. The Giants with a lead, and they are set to receive this kick. Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And New York set to take the field. They have the lead now. They'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Back to throw. Forbes. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. Give him 18 there, and the Giants have a first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll run on first down. Barkley. So a good spin move there before he's taken down. A nice little gain.
Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Officially, it's no gain on the play, and they'll remain a few inches shy of a first with third down looming. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Forbes on the move to his left. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
2nd and 6. Over the middle, complete. It's Benson. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Another good completion on the drive as the Giants have a first down.
Ready? 90 Wolf.
54 Mike. Let's go defense. Let's go defense.
Recon, 132 fighter. Let's go.
They'll try and run forward with Barkley. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the 2nd most in a single year. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. Back to throw. Forbes. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that exit, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
So now we look at the Redskins offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. 2nd and 9 now. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line.
And that one was a lot of fun right there, because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. He spins free, and they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 40.
When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl-type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and that lead is back down to 9 now. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. He is hoping to find the end zone for a third time, and we sit now in the third quarter.
And nothing would excite him more, but I think even more so, his offensive line. Anytime you've got a guy scoring that many times, that means you've done a really nice job in front of him.
You're always giving props to the big fellas up front.
It's always a good idea. Those are some massive men.
2nd and 5. Outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Montez Sweat. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Well, we knew this guy wasn't especially fleet of foot, but he tried to conjure up some escapability, but there's no way he was getting away on that one.
Hey, Haywood!
Throwing on 3rd and long. Forbes. Looking middle, and that's complete. 19 yards that time for number 19.
Here we go.
Back now at FedEx Field. It's the Giants with the football and also the lead as we get set to start quarter number 4.
Check General West. 5. Be careful.
On 1st and 10, Forbes. That's complete to Slayton. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there, a 22. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. 13 yards, good for a Giant first down.
All right, I don't want to get too poetic here where they talk about, the eyes being the windows of the soul. You know what else the eyes do? They see the open spaces on a field, and those eyes carry your legs to those spots, and that's what happened on that play. He saw an opening and went and got it.
Well, he really hasn't ran the ball all game. 4th quarter here, need a big play, able to pick it up. So whatever the eyes saw and created, it worked. First down, Giants on a pickup of 14.
The oar.
Big stop, G. Big stop. Let's go.
Shoot.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Being chased out left. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Here we go. 50. Mike 50. I'm coming.
2nd and 1. That is caught at the 7-yard line. Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling lead to no yards gained.
And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. So 2nd and goal, and standing by himself in the backfield, Barkley.
Hey, high 7.
2nd and 3. And that is caught. He's got it for a giant touchdown. Darius Slayton hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. That's why you've got your star out there. Throw the ball to him. They did.
That's simply saying we don't care what coverage you put out there. He's so good. We're going there with the football anyway, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Inside the red zone, they go to him. He gets it done. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. A throw over the middle, taken in. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 3 receivers head out right, 1 to the left on 2nd and 3. Looking to throw. Bowden. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. It's a first down for the Redskins on a pickup of 11.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Keep it up. Keep it up.
Back to throw. Bowden. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down.
I remember throughout my career hearing defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Looking to throw. Bowden. And he connects with Ebron. And he's got this down to the 35. A Redskin first down. The pickup 15 yards. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30. That was the 8th play of the drive, so a somewhat fitting pickup of 8 yards. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
What we got?
2nd and 2. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games.
Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. In for the score. And the Redskins are able to close the gap just a bit. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run, so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number, kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Again, it's Barkley. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. A 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win. Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today. On 3rd down, Forbes. And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now it looks like he'll throw here. Rolling to his left. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Ready. Check, Mike 54. Mike 54. Come, baby.
Back to throw. Forbes. This will be caught just inside the 10. The Redskins going to go ahead and use their final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal.
Let's get off the field.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley with touchdown number 29, too short of LaDainian Tomlinson's all-time record 31. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. 2nd and 4. Middle of the field, he's got McLaurin. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 37. On first down, Bowden. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Bowden. Throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. And the ball is knocked out, and the Giants have it. It's picked up, and they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes. They run with Barkley on first down, and he gets about 5 out of it. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Bristol, Travis.
Looking to throw. Forbes. He's going to fire one deep. And that's caught inside the 35. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. An excellent gain, 35 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Operating from the gun. Forbes. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Man, I got you. Man, I got you. Mike's 54. Mike's 54.
Hey, we got to get this stop here, D.
To throw again. Forbes. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there.
Let's go. 18 Gators. 54. Mike, 50. Hey, team 6. Team 6.
Mike's 5-4. Mike's 5-4.
Throwing on first down. Forbes. This will be caught at about the 5. A good display of footwork. It gets him just inside the 5 to the 4. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Giants, they continue to roll as the win gets them to 12-2 on the year. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, for the Redskins, the season is really nosediving now as they fall to 2-12. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.